Hi, welcome to episode 2 of Chaos and Crumbs. It's not the episode that I wanted to do, I'm changing it up a little bit. But anyway, you probably say, why chaos and crumbs? Because life is a mixture of chaos, like a big bowl of chaos, with some crumbles of crumbs on top of happiness. And so you got chaos and you got happiness, and there you go, chaos and crumbs. I don't want to get rid of the chaos. Why? Because the chaos is part of what made me, Sylvia, Lynette, Oliver. So, anyway, welcome to this episode of Chaos and Crumbs. And I want to call this episode Not Enough Crumbs Lately. Family can sometimes seem so chaotic that you get caught up in just focusing on the chaos. Why? Because that's what we do. You know, you have to remind yourself sometimes to look for the happiness and look for the good things in the midst of like a lot of bad that's going on. And sometimes you have to do that for your life too, in chaos and chaotic episodes and um, chaotic work, chaotic family stuff, you know. And chaos isn't always like it's going to be bad. What I mean by chaos is that it's a lot going on, a lot of times out of your control. Your life is really not a book that you can write as you want. You know what it is? It's a more. I said it wasn't like a book, right? So I can't say it is. So no, it's not a book because there's no real book on life except the Bible, and you just have to just go with the flow and change what you can and deal with what you can't until you can find another way around it. And ways around it and to make it through it is to add the crumbs. You gotta, sprinkle the crumbs, sprinkle those crumbs on your day, sprinkle those crumbs on your job, sprinkle those crumbs on your family, sprinkle those crumbs on your life because you have to remind yourself of the happiness in the midst of all the chaos. And that's what crumbs are. You reminding yourself of the happiness. That's what those crumbs of sugar is on your cereal. You want that bowl of cereal. You pour that bowl of cereal. You taste it, and it's not as sweet as you want it to be. So what do? You get a little sugar and sprinkle a little sugar on top, right? Yeah. Okay. Same thing with coffee, tea. I've been drinking chai tea, almost every morning. I want to do it every morning, but I don't. Sometimes I don't have enough time to stop and get it. I got a couple of places I go to get it in the mornings on my way to work. But sometimes when the mornings are too chaotic, I kind of miss it and I go on to work and do what I can. But anyway, even when you get that chai tea, you want something, some crumbs. And what do I get? I get the almond milk, right? It's just being able to add something to help you digest what's going on right now. Yeah. So I wanted this episode to be about embracing chaos and making sure that you add your crumbs. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is it wasn't really chaotic. I had my drive from work, and I decided today, since I was in it's my favorite dress now. I won't stand up and show the whole thing, but it's just as cute as the top. Okay, and I want to tell you, I work hard to be able to wear this dress. And I look really cute in it. I just want to say that. My hair may not match it, but this is me and this is my hair. Sometimes my hair is chaos. So, anyway, I was in traffic trying to get to this Korean restaurant that I found out here in McDonough. And so traffic was crazy. People were riding up behind me real fast. A couple of people cut me off. The lane I was in ended. And I had to merge to the right a little to be able to stay and keep going forward. So I probably looked a little chaotic to the people that was behind me and beside me. But, thank goodness I was okay. And I made it to this restaurant that I had looked up and was happy to get there because I just want an authentic Korean restaurant out here, until I can, drive past this. Right now, I'm not driving on the expressway right now, which is a whole different episode. So, anyway, I made it there. I took pictures of it and I was so excited. I took my book in there with me. I was going to actually leave an autographed signed copy with the owner because I was just so excited. And you probably think, what book? What book? I'm going to show you what book. Okay. This book here, this is one of my favorite books, A Korean Love Song for You. When I wrote this book, I cried on different parts of it. I laughed too. Okay. It's not a sad story, or is it? You got to buy it and find out. It's on all platforms. And, hopefully you'll get it. It's a beautiful book, has a cute picture of me on the back. Yeah. I'm very photogenic from what people say. But anyway, it's a beautiful cross cultural love story and drama and a lot of suspense. So you'll like this book. I'm not saying it because I wrote it. Yeah, but also because I've reread it so many times, and I've been reading it at work, between breaks, because I love the characters in this book. I love the story, and trying to decide, is there a part two? No, it's not. No, it's not. And I'm gonna tell you why. It's only because my favorite K dramas, you want them to end. You're looking and you're waiting. You don't want to skip to the last episode, but you're looking forward to each episode, and you want to get to that part where you know if everything's gonna be okay. I don't know if everybody does that, but I do it. I do that, and so once it's over, the only way it could be like part two, the storyline would end up changing somehow, and you don't want that because you don't want anything to happen to those characters that finally made it to the end. Because you never know in K drama who is going to make it to the end. You just never know, never know. But anyway, in this story, the families were going through so much chaos, but they managed to smile and be happy and everything else because they found the crumbs. They found the crumbs. Thus, A Korean Love Song for You. Check it out. Sylvia, Lynette, Oliver. You want this book. You really do. But anyway, I took one of these with me. I took one of these with me. I didn't say tooken. I was going to say I took. But I don't know what happened there. But anyway, I took one of the books with me. I signed it. I almost put the name of the restaurant in there, but I did put the date. I did put the date. And so when it finally opens, I'm going to take it back over there. But it wasn't open. It wasn't open. There was one entrance, and it was to the restaurant that I wanted to go to, and this Japanese restaurant, in which I love Japanese food too, and I love all the Asian dramas, but I just particularly love K drama. I have a lot of reasons why, but that's another episode, right? I will do one. I will do one on K drama, why I love it, so forth, yada yada yada. Okay, but right now, I went to this restaurant and they weren't open. Apparently, it's a seasonal restaurant, and it looks like it's set up just like one of the restaurants from my K drama. It's outside, and I can't wait. I can't wait. But anyway, I went inside. I had a book. I was going to leave it. I even asked, if I could just leave it with them, and And the waitress was like, no, you can't. So apparently you can't give out free books. Maybe. Or maybe, I'll be able to do that on my next episode when I feature my books. Because episode 3, I am going to feature my books. 2 particularly. Only because I've got another one coming. Okay. And so I'm telling you, this podcast is going to blow up. Here's my coffee mug, Chaos and Crumbs. You can get them, but we'll talk about that later. Okay? We'll talk about that later. I'm so busy, my phone's even ringing. And I'm not going to answer it right now. So if you're calling me, you're looking at this and you're calling me, I'm sorry, I'm busy right now. I'm busy right now. That's what Jan tells me. Jan goes, I'm busy right now, Mom. Okay. So anyway, you look for those crumbs and you add them and mix them in with your chaos. Just like you storing cream in coffee or sugar in coffee or tea or your milk, or your shakes or whatever, or if you're getting a shake, you get extra what's that? What's that on top? Whipped cream on top. Your crumbs can be anything. It can be whipped cream. It can be sugar. It can be sprinkled nuts on top of some yogurt. All I'm telling you is that you take what you have. You embrace the life that you have. You embrace the ups and the downs together. Okay? Even if one day all you're having is a bunch of downs, look for the ups. Okay? Look for the ups. When you get that coffee or tea or whatever, and you want some kind of sweetener and you don't have any, go look for it. Go look for it. And then when you find it, you're so happy putting it on top. I don't care if it's one pack. Okay? Or that milkshake. Ask for some whipped cream. Okay? Or that cereal. Okay? The happiness. Look for it. And if you look for it, you will find it. Somebody, I won't say the name, used to always tell me, you're just looking for trouble. And if you look for it, you're going to find it. And it was in reference to my relationship at that time. And because that person was causing a lot of chaos, and I was bringing up what that person was causing. Anyway, that person told me it's just because you're looking for it. But could it really have been because it was there? Right. So, but even in that relationship, looking for the happiness in it kept me in it that long, but on a sidebar, I probably should have let it go a long time ago. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I just want to say that because I hear people saying it all the time. But what I'm saying is that, you're going to get a lot of things going on. You're going to have to deal with life as it is. I went through so much sadness, with loss in the family and different things. And then when you go to the gatherings afterwards, you see people laughing and talking. You go, why are they doing that? Because they're finding those crumbs of happiness in the midst of the chaos, in the midst of the sadness. You find that. Sometimes it finds you. You don't have to find it. You'll be somewhere and somebody will say something to make you laugh when you're not even thinking about laughing. You're going to be happy when you're not even thinking about being happy. You're going to find a solution even when you're not even trying to look for it. You might be at the point where you go, oh man, this is just too much. And then all of a sudden, boom, go, wow, it worked out. Right? Okay, so what I'm saying is that embrace your chaos and find your crumbs and sprinkle them there. Why sprinkle? Because you want to cover the whole bowl. You want to cover the whole cup. You want to cover your whole life, okay? Your whole situation. So if you sprinkle it, you can cover it. Just like some good macaroni and cheese and spreading the cheese all over it. Yeah. So next time, we'll see what we're going to talk about, but pull up a chair, sit back, listen to my episode, take what I say. You can take it to heart. Anything I say is from my heart, it's from my experiences, it's just what life is. And that's what Chaos and Crumbs is about. It's about life experiences, it's about life stories. Last time I talked about my family and being healed on my dad's side. Next time I'm going to talk about my mom's side. Just a sneak peek of what I'm talking about in episode 3. But just know that in the midst of chaos, you got your crumbs. And that's the end of this episode of Chaos and Crumbs.